Hi students, I'm just going to give you an overview of what I'm expecting for you to work on today, okay? So if you go to content, actually I think I'm going to link it directly, but anyways, if you go to content and then go to electricity, and then it's from chapter 11 actually, sorry if it's kind of confusing, but I will give you a direct link, and then April 5 and 6 Fet simulation. So you're going to be working on these two handouts, okay? So over here, this is a simplified handout. You will not have to hand this in. Okay, so even though there's some marks for this, don't even worry about it. The supply teacher will give you the physical handout of this, okay? But over here, don't even worry about this. This will not be handed in, okay? After you finish this activity, though, you should still try it out and just make sure. And you're also just going to use these two links in order to get familiarized with the Fet simulation program. Although honestly, it can be it's quite intuitive, okay? But really what I want you to focus on is this right over here, okay? Circuit simulation. So again, the supply teacher will give you a handout of this. And I want you to make these circuits. So these are circuit diagrams. I want you to make the simulation circuit in Fet and then get these readings, okay? And so let me just first show you how to access the Fet DC Construction Kit. Actually, that's probably not DC anymore. So let me just walk you through this. They've come up with some new simulations and they've updated things. So if you Google Fet simulations, and I definitely recommend that you use this program with a mouse. So that's why I booked the computer lab today. Okay, so do sign on and on computer. You can actually work in pairs if you'd like, or by yourself. Don't click on this one because it's an old version. Click on simulations. Click on AC Construction Kit right over here. Don't do the virtual lab on the right. Okay, if you press play, and then you should go to lab. Okay, lab. Okay, so then let me just show you. Okay, so let's just say we wanted 2 batteries. You're just going to start playing around with this stuff. Just make sure that whenever you're connecting things, that the red pops in, it snaps on automatically. Okay, but anyways, you can extend things like this, okay? So for example, here's a light bulb, and then, okay. I find that it's always a little bit cleaner if you make boxes. It makes it easier to, figure out. You can honestly just connect it like this. If you want to break a connection, you can right-click on that connection. Oh, sorry, you left-click on the connection, and then you click on cut. Okay, and then you always go like this. Okay, if you want to make a switch in here, for example, here's a switch. Okay, and in order to close it, you click on that, open and close, okay, to make it work or not work, okay? So let me just show you. If I want to connect an ammeter is always in series. Okay, let's just say I have a parallel circuit over here. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to delete this, okay? So let me just look at this first one right over here, okay? So you'll notice that over here, there's several things going on. Notice that there's a voltmeter here, there's an ammeter here, there's a voltmeter that's measuring the potential difference across this first bulb, and then there's also an ammeter that's measuring right after the bulb, okay? So this is AT, meaning current total. This is VT, meaning voltage total, because it's right at the source. Whereas V1 and A1, it's specific to the light bulb, okay? So really what's going on here is that you have the simplest type of circuit. There's a switch, there's a battery, and then there's a light bulb, okay? But you only have one ammeter, so you're gonna move the ammeter around at different spots and get the ammeter reading. You're also gonna get the voltage reading with 1 voltmeter, and you're gonna go to different spots, okay? So let me just show you what that would look like, okay? You'll notice that there's 1 battery right here, okay? So let's just do that so it's exactly the same. So I'm actually going to delete this. There we go. There's 1 battery. Maybe what I'll do is, so actually I want to kind of restart this because it's oriented in a different way. So I just want to make sure it's oriented the same way. So you'll notice I can also pause this simulation or play it. I can also restart everything just by clearing the board and clicking on this right here, okay? So I'm going to orient this the same way as what I have on this handout right here. So I've got a battery, one switch, a bulb, and then that's one path right there. Okay, so let me just do it the same way, just that it's a little bit more, you know, a little bit more clear. Actually, so since I'm doing this, you may not even have to watch those other videos. You may want to, it's up to you. Okay, I'm just going to purposely put this over here. And I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to put a light bulb over here. Switch it around a little bit. Okay, so you can kind of like this. Is there a switch there? Yeah, there was a switch on top actually. So let me just break this. So it's left click actually, my bad. Okay, like it takes a little bit of getting used to be honest. I've done this for years, so it's kind of intuitive for me. But you might find that the connections sometimes look like they're... So for example, sometimes students do this and they think that everything is connected, but you'll notice that this is in red, meaning that the metal is not snapped onto the metal. Yeah, okay, so that's snapped on now, but now, okay, anyways. Okay, so this right here is like the base circuit. I'm just gonna close the switch. There's the light that's on. Okay, so according to this, right, I want to find the voltage at the source or at the battery. So I'm going to grab the voltmeter and I'm going to do the reading. I'm going to put one end on one, and then the other probe on the other end. And then notice it says -9 just because of the orientation. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about negative or positive. But I'm just going to flip the two around, okay, just to reverse the polarity. And then you'll notice it's 9 volts. So VT at the source right here, you would write down on your sheet 9.0 volts, okay? Then V1 is across this light bulb right here. So I'm going to now drag this over to here, okay, or over here, doesn't matter. Just don't worry about negatives, okay? So there we go. The voltage drop across this, across the light bulb is 9 volts as well. So I would put in, for example, this first one, 9 volts at VT, 9 volts at V1, okay? Now I can put this back. So if I just drag it over, it puts it back there, okay? The ammeter can be, actually this is a new version, okay? So the current, in order to measure the current, in this case right over here, if I want to measure the current right at the source, right after the source, okay, I would measure it right over here. So this is even easier. Normally in the old version, we'd have to like cut it and then put it in lines. Okay, so that's another way of reading it as well. Notice it's the same thing, okay? But honestly, this newer version, since it has this available, it's a lot easier to actually just read it like this, okay? So you'll notice that the current right at the source is 0.09 amps. Okay, so I would write down 0.90 amps. And then at A1, so A1 is right after the light bulb. So I'm going to read it right after the light bulb. And you'll notice that the current is also 0.90 amps. Okay, so nothing too groundbreaking is happening right now. But you'll notice that as you add more light bulbs, some things might change. Okay, so for example, I'm just going to add one more light bulb. So in the second case, you'll notice that there's a light bulb over here and a light bulb over here. Okay, so that's the only thing that's different. You're adding light bulbs. In case this first case, there's one light bulb. In the second case, there's 2 light bulbs. In the third case, there's 3 light bulbs. And then you're just taking your ammeter, your ammeter and measuring at these different points. You're taking your voltmeter and putting in the 2 arms, okay, like that. Okay, let me just show you what that might look like because I'm not there to help you, okay? So I'm going to flip this around. There's my first light bulb. There's my second light bulb. Okay, notice that it got dimmer. Okay, so I'm going to take my current, take a look at that now. Now that I put 2 light bulbs in, 0.45 amps, no matter where I put it, take a look, it is 0.45 amps, interestingly enough, okay? But let's take a look at the voltmeter. Okay, so over here, if I'm getting the voltage of just this one, the battery, okay, so that's like right over here, and then I can take the voltage drop right across one of the light bulbs. You know, so if I do that right over here and over here, take a look, it's -4.5. Okay, so over here, it was -9, or let's just say 9 volts. Whereas over here, it's 4.5 volts. And then over here, okay, this would be like bulb number 2, it's 4.5 volts, okay? I'm hoping that this is enough information for you to muddle through, okay? So basically over here, this is series circuit, okay? You're going to do the readings at each of the points. As a reminder, you only have 1 voltmeter and 1 ammeter, but you're moving them along, okay? Then you're going to try making these parallel circuits. So take a look here. It's confusing the drawings because of all the different areas where you have the voltmeter and the ammeter, but really this is just a battery connected in parallel to one light bulb, which is connected in parallel to another light bulb, okay? This is a parallel circuit with 3 separate paths. This is 2 and this is 1. And then you're just taking the reading, okay? And then you're filling in these numbers, and then you're doing these, there's a word box right over here, and you're filling in the blanks, okay? I've spoken enough. I hope that that's enough. Please feel free to like help each other out a little bit. Obviously no copying, but if you need help, you're gonna work in pairs so that you can muddle through this part right here, okay? So collect your data together, but please do this, the analysis portion on your own. Everyone will submit this, okay? We will take up the answers, like the overall view of the answers on Wednesday, Thursday, okay? So please try, we will be able to also work on this on Wednesday as well, but I really want to be able to get through as much as possible where you can try this out. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Take care, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.